I can't. I'm overwhelmed with excitement right now. I can't even get it right. Guys, hope everybody's having a good one. Welcome to Microsoft Flight Simulator with Cookie Pirate. I'm so happy to be back. It has been about 9 months since my last flight. And I'm stoked to be doing this again. This is like my bread and butter. Maria, Dale, both of you welcome. I'll try to keep the runway clear today. We'll see. I believe I can fly. I know I can fly. But we'll see how much I remember. Alright, today we're flying the Cirrus SR-22 going from Kodiak, Alaska up to Kenai. We're gonna go at 21,000 feet. It should be, the flight tracker is saying, an hour and 1 minute. 174 miles. I've been waiting to say this for a long time. Climb aboard, let's go flying. Cookie Pilot is back. Will the chicken pilot join too? Oh, you're terrible. Let me know if the music's too loud, or I'm too loud, or too quiet, either way. And we'll fine-tune it. Now, I will say, I don't have everything 100% set up. I've got my flight controller plugged in, so we're good to go with that. I don't have the flight tracker that I usually use. That would take probably an additional hour to, maybe not that long, but a considerable amount of time to install, configure, all of that good stuff, so just gonna straight up fly. But I'll try to narrate. Okay, so here we are in the plane. I don't know why my mouse is locked. Well, you can move that. Kind of like that. It's just easier to double-click and do stuff. I don't fully remember the checklist for this, but I'm gonna try my best. I think what we'll do... we go battery switches on, those are the first things. I'm gonna set this, because it's starting to bug me that I can't use my mouse to look around. Cockpit camera. Oh, do I just have to hold a button? Not sure what's going on there. Camera. Cockpit camera. Mid-click? I don't know, that's gonna drive me a bit nuts. But we'll see. Alright, those should not be flaps, that should be mixture. Oh gosh. Okay, this is gonna be a little bit of a struggle here. I know what we'll need to do is get a pushback before we start. That's Shift P. Let's go to the external. I don't know why that isn't working very well. See, parking brake is off, so we'll get a pushback a little bit. It's gonna push us back just a little bit so we have enough room to turn around here without risking hitting a wing into the building. How Come on, push my plane back. There we go. Alright, while we're getting that, we'll get a couple other things set up. So we'll do nav lights. That's gonna draw. Alright, I think that's far enough. So we'll set the pushback right there. We'll set our parking brake back on. What a view. Beautiful here in Kodiak. So I'll reset that view. I've got to figure out why the mouse is locked. Alright. From here, parking brake is set, so what we're going to do is alternator. That's got to come on when the engine, that's right. Alright, so what we need to do is go down to here. Boost pump on, fuel tank is good. Mixture full rich. Come back up here, clear, left and right. Set that backwards, but okay. Alright, and we are good to engage the engine. So what we'll do is throttle goes all the way up for a moment. Then we pull it back. And then bump it just a little bit forward. Maybe not that much. Alright, clear! Engine's running. So we'll back down to idle power. Alternators can come on. Now we have good amperage. Zoom in a little bit here. I can get this set up here. Alright, parking brake is on, we know that. Next up we'll do is turn these lights on. Strobe and nav lights. Don't need any of that there. Avionics on. And we'll get the cockpit initialized. Well, here's our checklists. So you can actually go through all of that. I remember most of this. It's just going to take me a little bit of time to get used to. This is what's going to take me a little bit of time. We have all of this down here to handle the navigation. So here are all our engine instruments and gauges and everything we can look at. Then we have this little side panel. So our oil temperature is good, pressure is good. That means we are good to get ready. Let's real quick we'll grab the weather. So it's just after 3 in the afternoon in Kodiak. The weather here is saying the wind is 110 at 7, so we're good to take runway 8 for departure. That's the longest one. That's the main one to use for taking off. 10 miles visibility, that's good. Few clouds at 1,000 feet. It looks pretty clear to me. 13 Celsius, that's about 55 Fahrenheit. And 30.19 on the altimeter. So we'll set that there. Weather's good. Next thing we'll do, just take a look outside. We're good to get moving. So what we'll do is come down, release the parking brake. And very little power. Center our view. Don't worry about the person. They don't render any collisions. So movable objects don't render collisions, whereas buildings, trees, obviously terrain, stuff like that does. So to get out here, it's actually a really easy takeoff, or a really easy taxi out. Uh-oh. So we'll taxi over here. We've got some intruders over here. Yeah, some things in Microsoft Flight Sim don't change. Coming up to the hold bar here. Set our brakes. I'll come up just a little more here, so we gotta do a run up. Alright, so what that's gonna entail here, we're set here. Set the parking brake. Let's actually configure our autopilot. We'll do that here at the runway. Sometimes we do that before we taxi out. What we'll do, just want to mouse that up a little bit so I can see better. Runway heading, gonna be about like that. And we can actually zoom in on the map here. Gotta remember how. Range, that's right. Hey, Bromik, welcome. Uh-oh, the one thing every passenger doesn't want to hear the pilot say. Yeah, well, in Flight Sim it's common, because look at these guys. They're sitting out there in the middle of the runway. They may move. Let's set the OBS. No, we won't. CDI. Should be set to nav. Hey, Shem, welcome. Ground service agent here, just watching and hoping to learn enough for a few maneuvers. Won't do anything crazy in this. I'll show you some tricks. Hope y'all are doing real well. Alright. We don't want to forget to set the flaps to half. They need to be set to half for takeoff in this plane. Most planes, you'll have different steps of flaps, and in this one, it's up, half, and full. And for takeoff, you want them set to half. You can take off without them, it's not usually a good idea. At a place like this, it probably wouldn't be too bad, since we have a long runway to work with. But generally not something you want to do. Landing light comes on. Oh, come on. Uh-oh. There we go. What in the world? Just bear with me, too, as I'm still getting used to the, controls, on the new flight controller that I have. No barrel rolls or Immelmans? Yeah. Not in this. In an aerobatic plane, we definitely could. Alright, so with all of this set, the next thing we're going to do is just a quick flight control check. So we're going to get out of the cockpit. I don't even remember how to do this on this flight stick. Let me get the guide. Yo, I love planes. What's going on, man? I'm so glad to see you. I was thinking earlier, I'm like, this is my first Flight Sim stream back. You've been the most vocal about wanting me to return to it, other than my own head. And I said I really hope you would make it. So I'm thrilled to have you here. Okay, so toggle view, that should... Oh, what in the world? It's not taking us out. Love the Flight Sim streams. Oh, I appreciate that. Alright. So there's that. That'll just help us get around until I get this figured out there. Let's check the flight controls. So, rudder is good. Elevator is good. Ailerons are good. So we have free and correct flight controls. That's important. Back into the cockpit. Next thing we'll do is we're going to bring the power up until we get to about 1700 RPM. So we're at just below 1000 right now. A little more. Right about there. Couple things to check. We're going to turn the mags. What you want to see is about a drop of 75 to 100. If you don't have a drop, then it means you have probably a faulty ground on the mag. If it drops too much, you've got something going on with the engine. So we're going to turn this to the left, and we have a drop of about 50. That's good. Now you go back to both. You don't want to check them. You don't want to go left, right. You want to go left both, and then right both, so you can check the drop. So now we go to that there. Same thing, about a drop of 50. Back to both. Engine instruments are all in the green. We don't have any warnings, errors, cautions other than the parking brake, which is normal, because it thinks for some reason we're going to take off. Now we'll go power idle. Mags are both. Mixture's still full rich, boost pump is on. We don't have to switch the fuel yet. So what we'll do is get the rest of this autopilot configured real quick. So heading is set. We're going to turn our heading select on so we fly out at runway heading. We're going to set the FLC, and we... No, actually we won't do that. Actually, yeah, we can. And what we'll do is turn that speed up to 110, because that's going to be our climb speed. Altitude, we're just going to set it straight up to 21,000, which is our cruise altitude for today. Am I on VATSIM? No, I've thought about joining it. So I'd love to get involved with some ATC. I just need to get back in the plane and used to flying first. Because it's been so long. I remember most of the stuff pretty well, but as I'm trying to kind of recall, I don't have a checklist pulled up because I don't have the stuff downloaded and on hand. Alright, so that's good, that's good, that is good. I think we're set on the autopilot. So we'll do a reset of the view. Alright, so we have, well, now we've got one. We've got one out there. Get off the runway! Oh, Maria predicted the future. Once we start moving, we should be good. We're good to go. Let's release the parking brake. Do a quick view. I'll boost the power up a little bit, taxi out. Truck should start moving here once we get out here. Oh yeah, look at that, he's reversing! Somebody, this guy's got a runway incursion. He's not certified to be out there. And we're just gonna follow the center line. Line up on the runway. We're gonna get lined up on the center line. Alright. We're good to go. Full power. Engine instruments are good. Airspeed's good. We're gonna rotate at 77. So we'll lift up. Or 70 up. There we go. Brakes are stopped. We have a positive rate. We'll start our turn once we get up to 800. We're good to engage the autopilot.
Engaging autopilot.
So we'll lower that, let our speed pick up, and then we'll start climbing here. Don't crash. Never. Alright, gonna pitch up. We're at 600. $800. So we're good to go ahead and turn. So we're gonna switch the heading bug off, and we're gonna turn to nav. So that'll intercept the course. We're gonna go through it a little bit. We are actually good to go ahead and bring the flaps up. We're a little late on that. Flaps full. Mixture stays for right now. And we're gonna get a really nice view. It was a very abrupt ascent. This is pretty powerful. It's a really good plane. 400 above ground, you can turn on course. Yeah, although I usually just wait till 800. It depends on the type of plane you're flying. So, let's get a view back out here. So if we look a little bit further... Whoa. Still getting used to this, but there's the airport. There's a little bit of clouds, not much. But we're doing pretty good. The SR-22 goes up to 25,000 as its service ceiling. You can get it higher. I'll explain that in a moment here. Alright, it is time to set up for our climb checklist. So what that entails, flaps are up, mixture. We can pull the mixture back just a little bit. You kind of want to have it at the bottom of this green arc. So very gently... getting about 35 to the gallon, or 35 per hour, and we're at full power. That's looking pretty good. Just out of curiosity, can you change the music in the game? So I don't think it actually has music, so what I'm doing is just playing a YouTube playlist that I have. If it's a little loud, I can turn it down, or I can switch to a different song or something like that. But I use copyright-free music. Lets you do more. Alright, up here, now we're going to reduce the power just a little bit. You can do a full power Ridge of Peak climb, but we're going light on fuel. So what I'm going to do is pull the power back to about 30.5 manifold inches of pressure. So that's that number right here. We want that at 30.5. And we're going to pull the mixture back. We're looking for peak power. So we're going to pull the mixture until we get the highest percentage, that kind of 80-something that we're looking at right now. Pitot heat required. It is down to 4 Celsius, so we're going to turn that on. Pull that back a little more. Alright, so that's too far, so we're going to bump it forward just a little bit. And that's our climb. Let's grab a view. Ready. Oh, Maria missed the Flight Sim playlist. Yeah, I don't do it on Planet Coaster since they have the in-game music. Flight Sim, to my knowledge, does not. The new one might. Let me know if I need to adjust the volume up or down of the music, the game, myself. Alright, I'm gonna pull the map up. Why is our route not showing up? It should be. Oh, GPS track. No? The destination is set. I'm not really sure. This should have the route. Do I need to zoom out more? No? I don't know. Alright, well anyway, we're going in pretty much a straight line right now. So, our route today, we started here, at this airport. This is Kodiak's main airport. This is the downtown airport. I've flown in and out of here a couple times, but I generally prefer this one since it has more facilities and more room to work with the SR-22. We're going to be heading north. This is Kodiak Island, of course, in the town of Kodiak up here. This is a Fognak Island. Then we're going to pass over the Kenai Peninsula, the southern tip, Seldovia, really nice airport to fly in and out of. Homer, which is about the halfway point. Actually, probably not. I would say the halfway is when we cross over the peninsula. And then Kenai is up here, this is Soldotna, and then Anchorage is up here. So pretty straightforward. I've flown this route many times. It's one of my personal favorites, but the weather's got to be decent, or you miss out on a lot of the picturesque scenery and stuff that Alaska's known for. And this time of year, it's late summer up here, so it's starting to cool off. Many parts of Alaska do get very mild summers, to even just outright warm. I'm going to turn the music down on my end. It's a little bit loud. Here we go. Not sure why the GPS track didn't show up on the map. It usually does. But it's on here, so we're good. Up at 11,000 feet, it is -3 Celsius, so once we get to cruise, it'll probably be about -20 to -25. What in the world? I get some other music. One of my favorites. Do you need to deal with other planes? You have the ability to turn it on or off. I have it off. Terrain. No! No! Always wanted to go to Alaska. It's like the one state I haven't been to. Yeah, I haven't either, but I really want to go visit. I want to take... So I have my real-world private pilot license. I would love to, and I saw a YouTuber who did this. He took a commercial flight to Anchorage from wherever he lives in the continental, or I should say the contiguous 48. Alaska's a continental state. Hawaii is not. But of course Alaska's separated by Canada from the other 48. So he flew from the contiguous, wherever he's at, I don't remember, up to Anchorage, and then he actually went around the state renting a plane and just flying to all of these different remote locations and everything like that. He did a series. It was really inspiring. I'd love to go do the same thing. Just get a pretty view out that way. It does look like it's relatively cloudy. The weather down here is actually quite good. I'm going to pull a... Alright, I'm gonna pull up Sky Vector. This is what I use most of the time to plan my flights. So you can see, okay, here's a better picture of our route. So we're going from here, going out right up over the southern tip of the Kenai Peninsula. That's right about our halfway point. We'll pass pretty much right over Seldovia and Homer. And then we'll come into Kenai. We may actually have to come out and around this way depending on the weather. So the weather looks okay, but it's overcast at Soldotna, not great. Seward is also overcast, broken at Anchorage. So the weather's really nice over here and in the southwest of the state. It is terrible. I'd originally thought about flying over here. It's not great, and it is not great up through here, which is really one of my favorite parts of the state to fly in the interior. Oh, yeah, you use Sky Vector when you control. Nice. Still waiting to go solo? You'll get there. No rush. Take your time. Get yourself real proficient in the plane. And just really learn the ins and outs. What other views, camera angles can you change? I don't know why that's coming up. It shouldn't. It's supposed to switch. I've got to go back in and configure all of this. So I'm just going to use the toolbar for now. So you can go outside the cockpit. You can see the plane. And then you have all of your information down here. So your airspeed, engine. You got your 40 hours you need. You just got to grow. I did not get my license until I had about 80 hours, believe it or not. But I also had some problems with my training program that made me really angry. So I quit taking lessons after I got my private and just started flying with kind of standalone instructors. The other thing you can do, so you can look around, you can zoom in and out, of course. Mouse works now, I just don't know why it's not working in the cockpit. Pretty neat. You can reset the view, you can go behind the aircraft. And then the other options, which I don't usually use, kind of showcase. Whoa! Didn't mean to do that. There. You can fly off the wings, you can see the belly of the plane, the undercarriage. So you've got a lot of options there. Fixed, and then you can go to free camera and look around. Go back into the cockpit here. Alright, we're actually up over 19,000, so when you get to 18,000, we set the altimeter to standard pressure, 29.92. And we are close. It's minus 20 up here. It's going to be about minus 25 at our cruise. Which is about standard. Probably a tiny bit warmer than standard, actually. We can turn our landing light off, so depending on the checklist and also the airplane sometimes, standard will be different. Sometimes you turn your landing light off once you turn on course after taking off. Sometimes you don't turn it off until you're at your cruise altitude. Sometimes you leave it on. I'm going to turn it off now, we're just about at cruise. Pitot heat stays on. These always stay on. Don't touch these switches or you'll have some serious problems. These lights, it's standard. I think it's actually regulation to leave those on. Landing light can go off. What button do you push to start the in-flight service? Actually, in this plane, you do it yourself. You've got a drink holder, you've got a little pouch to stash your snacks. Turn the landing light off when you're on course so you don't burn it out in real life. Yeah, I think that's pretty standard for most small planes. Alright, we're at a cruise altitude. We actually don't have to touch the power. But this blue line right here is kind of your peak efficiency. As you get higher, you want to lean the mixture a little bit more. So we're gonna come down here and pull back slightly. Yeah, I said that. Actually, no, you don't want to, because that's your peak temperature. So we do want to leave it rich of peak, which is going to be about right about there, maybe a little bit lower. Usually right about 20 per hour is what you want. So that's good there, actually. Fuel switch pump comes off. We're going to switch the tanks. In these planes, you have to flip the tank selector between the left and right. And you'll get an indicator when there's an imbalance of 9 gallons. I usually try to keep it less. So if you zoom in here, we have a difference of about 7 to 8 gallons right now. So we switched it before the annunciator came on. Best flight attendant, you want snacks, get it yourself. I mean, if you have a plane large enough for cabin service, then of course, do better. Spent time in Finland and fell in love with it. Oulu is on the same latitude as Anchorage, and I get what you mean about the seasons in temperate summer. One way a 172 is better, put the fuel selector to both. Yes, yeah, a lot of planes don't have that. A few do, like the Cessnas. The Diamond you have to switch, the Cirrus you have to switch. I think the Cub Crafters, the X-Cub, that's another plane I fly on occasion. I believe that has both. I could be wrong on that. just curious, what controls am I using? So I got the Turtle Beach Velocity 1 flight stick. Doesn't seem bad so far. I just need to customize it a little more. I was using the Thrustmaster T16000, and you remember, or you go back and watch some of my older flight sim streams from like September, October, November last year. The throttle started going haywire. It was out of warranty, but I had a protection plan on it. So I got a refund, and I thought about getting the new one, but I decided to try this Turtle Beach one. It's a little cheaper, it's a little smaller. I do miss the ability to do, like, dual hands-on. So, but yeah, it seems like a pretty decent one. I'm gonna play around with it, try to get used to it, and if for some reason I'm just not real keen on it, I'll take it back and get something a little different. Why are these songs repeating? Oh, that's a different version of it. Let's switch that. I can barely hear my computer. Like, this is running really well. Planet Coaster's actually seeming to be a little more intensive on my computer than this. Now, that will likely change whenever I switch to Flight Sim 24. I Love Planes, I did see your message about the Vision Jet. I'm stoked to try that out. It's one of my favorite planes. My PC sounds like the plane engine itself. Mine does when it's running at full power. But this is pretty light. I got a really good computer. So it's got the Ryzen 7 9800X 3D. I have the 9070G or XT for the GPU. And 64 gigs of RAM, which is overkill for most systems, but Flight Sim 24 is optimized for 64. I've heard of some people actually running 96 and saying it does even better. Of course, your mileage may vary, and it's going to depend on other components and stuff like that. Can you play? Since... Ah, Dale. Since you have a badass new gaming rig, can you play PC2 while you're on the autopilot? I don't think this would like that. I do... Oh, by the way, I will say, I do plan on doing Planet Coaster after the flight. I'm not going to do it on the same stream. So, I'll probably end this stream after the flight, take a short break, and jump on with some Planet Coaster. I'll do another flight tomorrow and Friday. I might do 2 flights tomorrow. Totally joking, yeah. I figured, but... I figured I'd answer the question. Theoretically, it likely is possible. It's not a good idea. Maria, it warms you up in winter? Yeah, probably. If it's running hot, if it's running light like this, not really. No clue about Ryzen? Okay, so the X3D is really unique because it has a large, it's called the L3 cache, and I'm not an expert in this stuff, but I've done my research to pick the parts to build the computer. But that L3 cache really helps with the graphics. It's not going to help where you need like sheer processing power, although it's really good at that too. But the X3D series is the best type of processor you can get if you're gaming. But otherwise, the Ryzen 3 579, it's basically the equivalent of the Intel. I had a pre-built for a month and a half, and it kept throttling. The thermals were terrible, and it's because the Intel 14 series has been very problematic. A lot of them, they were overheating and frying the CPUs. The one I got, it was just throttling. Do Key West to Miami? That could be kind of cool, but I'll tell you, having lived in Florida for a while, I like North and Central Florida better. I'd consider doing something like Tampa to Daytona Beach, or like down to Fort Myers or something like that. I'll do some Florida flights. Alaska's my bread and butter with this. One of my favorite places to fly. Unfortunately, it's clouding over. We're losing a lot of our good views. The other thing we can do is zoom out on the map a little bit. I'd try to get it to stop. Zoom out to 25, that's reasonable for now. Plane is too small for all of us. Yeah, I'll have to get that Vision Jet. I think that's 7. I don't remember exactly. I think it's something like that. Of course, it took a little bit of time to get off the ground as I kind of had to try to fix a couple things. Let me see. I don't understand. Now, while we're at cruise, let me... Uh-oh. How do you know? Let's see. On the wings of a la Flight of Phoenix. Yeah, right? Funny thing, I was taking a lesson. My CFI asked me, how do you know if you're going into a cloud? Thought it was a trick and blanked. He said you look outside. Yeah, that's accurate. Absolutely. Of course, depending on the airspace, you have different cloud clearance requirements. Generally 500 below, 1,000 above, and 2,000 to the side. But if you're in Class B or G, I believe it's just clear of clouds. But since we're going IFR, I get to fly through them. You will, after you solo, you will get a little bit of experience doing some IFR. What is the largest plane I have in this game, and have I flown it? Probably the 747, and no. I don't really do airliners. Not my cup of tea. Alright, let me check this out, because I don't know what's going on. I'm sure why. That's not right. Still not looking around. I don't know. Yeah, and I think at night it's different. Yeah, I don't remember night VFRs. It's driving me crazy. Why is it descending too? That's... I've got to get all this flight thing figured out. Oh, that's not good. Is that...
Engaging autopilot. Engaging autopilot.
I am not sure what's going on right now. Yeah, this is all bugged. So we're just gonna descend a little bit, let our airspeed pick back up. Let me check. Oh, the mixture cut! Alright, hold on. We're okay, we're still flying. I mean, we're low airspeed. That's a warning. That's why. Yeah, it's full power. The mixture got cut somehow.
Engaging autopilot.
Should we start praying now? No, I've got it figured out. I've got to do... Oh, this is annoying. Yeah, that's what happens when my flight controller isn't configured. It should have been okay. Somehow, something I pressed mixed up the mixture. Yeah, lucky for us, there is a nice little parachute. Yeah, there is. Yep, power is full. Mixture's full. We're good. I don't know why that happened, though. Taking the parachute and show myself out. Oh, the plane actually has one. We're okay, we're still flying. We are. I don't
Engaging
understand,
autopilot.
though, why that did what it did. That's aggravating. It's like all of a sudden, like a keybind got duplicated or something.
Engaging autopilot.
I'm gonna try flying this by hand.
Engaging autopilot.
Alright, we should be good now. That is very baffling, though. And now my mouse isn't working at all. Pull the manifold back. 30.5. Pull that back to 20. You can check the settings if it is binded to something. I cleared it, I thought it did, unless it didn't save or something. Just wanted to say good luck. We're all counting on you. Oh, man. We're good now. Yeah, let me see what's going on with that, because the free look's not working. Let me go to default. See, look at that, the mixture's out again. Yeah, there's definitely a binding issue somewhere. I hate to fiddle with this in here so much. Mixture.
Summer in the hills, those hazy days I do remember.
Validate.
We were running still, had the whole world at our feet, watching seasons change. Our roads were lined with adventure, mountains in the way, couldn't keep us from the sea.
That's not right.
Here we
Yeah, something is going on with this.
This is home where we are ever strong.
I'll have to figure it off stream. Or figure it out, I should say, off stream. I cleared all of that.
See your shadows in the trees, holding on, memories never change.
I don't know what's going on, but that is quite aggravating. Let me make sure that mixture doesn't just cut again. Probably won't touch it. So that lets you change. Well, the mixture cut again. I don't know why. So I'm gonna have to go through and I might have to clear everything and manually. That's gonna be a pain for this. I have to do that for every plane I fly. It's good now, so I'm not gonna touch it. I'll mess with it off stream. So we're about at the halfway point. The other thing you can do is just drag this out of the way. Probably back up here in the corner. If we want to just look around, yeah, it's clouding over. It's just a little bit clear back there, but there's actually some pretty significant cloud cover, and then it breaks a little bit. We can see the southern tip of the Kenai Peninsula here. Of course, you can zoom right in. Nice and sunny up here. I'm gonna go back in. Altitude 21,000, speed 520 knots. Yeah, that's in like a jet, yeah. Level flight course 090, trim mixture wash, soak, rinse, spin. Yeah, I will have to, I gotta figure out what's going on with that. That may take some time to clear all the bindings and everything, and yeah, because I didn't touch any of the controls or anything like that. It must have been something I clicked caused it to go haywire. Airplane reference, yeah. The weather's getting worse. We're about at the halfway point. Pull our map up. Yeah, so we're just passing over the south of the peninsula. There's Homer. What we'll need to do pretty soon is get the weather at Kenai and decide which way we want to go in and land, because we'll have to plan our descent and approach based on the weather there. So what we could do is just get... It's going to update here in a moment. There's no weather available. Alright, there's a way around that. We're probably out of range. If you go here and click on the map, there's the flight tracker. I don't know why it's cut off. So it is saying this is an hour out of date. 230 at 6. So there's a slight wind from the south, which means we would likely have to come up around here. Come in that way. We do have the ILS for 20 right. Good afternoon, can we have a weather update? Don't you have windows? Yeah, well, you can't exactly see that far away. If you're going VFR though, you descend based on what you can see, and then you'd fly below the clouds. But since we're IFR, it's a little more intricate. So what I'm gonna do is go back up to Sky Vector for a moment. We're gonna click on the airport, and we have all of these different approaches. So we go with the ILS. You could do the RNAV, but the ILS is usually the easiest. And what that would have us do is fly. Kind of Soldotna should be over here. So what we would do is probably go to this fix, fly this curve, and then descend in the approach. Other option is the ILS Zulu. It's just a different, but those are pretty much the same in this case. In some airports they're totally different. I like this flight course though. Wish I was actually flying here. Oh man, me too. So either way, we'll probably fly to this fix and come around. If the weather is favorable... Oh, they don't have... Well, they do have a RNAV for 2 left, which... If the weather supports us coming in and landing this way, then we'd fly out a little bit over the water, just off the coast. Fly to this Cassie fix. And then to here, and then that's our final approach fix for the descent. And we'd fly down to 2,000 feet. Let me check that on the ILS. 2,000. Okay. Perfect. So what we're gonna do is just anticipating that. We're going to set our altitude to 2,000 feet. It won't cause us to descend yet. Sorry I had to go for a bit back. No worries. Alright, so 2,000 is set. That means once we get to the point of top of descent, it'll plan us out to get down to 2,000 where we need to be. Should have a weather update any moment. Tell you what, we're just gonna set up for 20 left. Or 20 right, rather. So what we're gonna do is procedures. Select approach. Let me zoom in here. I'm trying to be careful not to click anything unless we have a controls go haywire. We'll do the ILS Y20 right. You can do vectors, but well, why did that miss? Enter. Minimums. Let me check. Sky vector. Pull this approach plate back up. Oops. Well, they're the same either way. 298. So 300 basically. What was that? Pitot heat? How did the pitot heat get turned off? That is haywire. Minimum's at 300. And activate. Not approved for GPS. It's for monitoring only load approach. Yes. Alright. So our top of descent will be just a little bit past Homer. So we're going to turn on course just a few degrees over. And we can turn that off and have just the course. Reset the view. So we'll have a little more time here at cruise. Some planes will tell you how far you go till top of descent. When you give a plane too much automation. Oh, let me turn that back off there. So I know I'm a little rough around the edges with this, because it's been so long, but the flight control situation doesn't help. But I'm getting back into the swing of things. Yeah, still cloudy. Well, you can see a few mountains there. If we look out this way, beyond these mountains out here, out that way would be Seward. And we're actually... Hold on a minute. Let me go outside. Yeah, a button should be set to do this. Oh, well, that's good. Look out over here, though. Vision Jet has the top of descent marker. This plane does too. But I know the citation latitude or longitude, whatever one is in this game, has a timer for top of descent as well. But look at this over here. How much sense does this make? Now, don't count the mountains, but down here by the water, there's snow on the ground in summer. Doesn't make sense. I know Flight Sim 24 is supposed to have fixed that. They actually have seasons, so you'll get the trees that have like variable foliage and everything like that, snow cover. Really want to fly passenger, obviously, this one day. It's a really cool plane. Let me go back into the cockpit here. And let's go back out. Take a quick look. So you look down here. That's the Homer Airport right there, and the city's very close to it. Well, it's really down kind of all through right here. You can see it. Summer. Well, it's like 50-something degrees on the ground down there right now, and that's late summer. A lot of people don't realize, even this part of the state, which tends to be more mild, does get warm in the summer. You know, might regularly reach like 65 to 70 Fahrenheit. Parts of the interior, like up around Fairbanks, get into the 80s. Now, depending on where you live, that might not sound like much, but by Alaska standards, that's pretty warm. No snow on the ground over here, just for whatever reason. It has to be like the terrain processing or something like that, or the satellite over here. But the Seward Airport, I've made so much fun of when I would fly, and it would be 70 degrees on the ground, and everything is covered in snow. It just doesn't make much sense. Oh. Now we gotta go back into the cockpit. Does your side stick have the little button with the two rectangles? I'm not sure where rectangles you'd be talking about. Coming up on top of descent here. Any moment. All those look good. Other thing we're gonna do is get ready to set our FLC. And where's the speed setting? Oh, it's this. That's right. That controls the FLC speed and vertical. I forgot about that. We'll descend at 160. Oh, under the Xbox logo, I have 3 little round buttons around it. Oh, yes I do. Yeah. The most left one with the boxes. Yeah, I do. Exactly. Areas of the world, with the exception of the poles that do have extreme cold temps, do actually have actual seasonal changes. Yeah, it's quite warm in the summer. Alright. So we're starting our descent here in a moment. Why is it doing that? It shouldn't be doing that. We haven't hit top of descent, why are we going down? If you press that, I think it transitions from inside to outside. Yeah, it does, okay. I might reconfigure that, but yeah, that works, thank you. Oh, that brings up the menu, okay. What is that doing? That triggered my mixture.
Engaging autopilot.
Alright, let's get that back on course. Yeah, but for whatever reason that caused that to go haywire. Alright, so let's make sure FLC is on. We've actually come down a little bit. I'm gonna have to go through and tweak a bunch of stuff with this, because it should not be doing that. That's starting to get a little bit on my nerves, because it's messing up things that I know better. But it's okay. We fly past our top of descent, because it's not starting us downward. Let me go through and set this back. Let me go just back through select approach. Alright, there we go. Now it should start us descending. I don't know, I find that helpful so I don't have to use the camera toolbar. Yeah, it was a button up around like the free look thing that I used to have on my Thrustmaster that you would press it and it would toggle the views. That works. I might just bind it to something different. Alright, let me see here. Because that should be starting us down. Why is that not working? Alright, here's what we're gonna do. just gonna set VNav. Was that maybe why it wasn't? Gonna set the vertical speed, and we're gonna turn that down to about minus 1500. Now, important to know, when you don't have an auto throttle, you have two different configurations that you can use. You can set the vertical speed and control your airspeed with the throttle, so we're going to reduce power down to about 35% for stable speed. Right about like that. If you use the FLC and VNav, then your airspeed is constant and your throttle controls your vertical speed. That's about what we're looking for. So we're on track. We might have to get that descent a little bit steeper. We've got 16,000 feet to descend, and we are 9 minutes away. So we should have a pretty good descent rate. If we have to pull it down a little more, that's fine, because if we look at the approach plate, we cross this at a minimum of 2,000. You don't want to be more than 4,500 by the time you get over here. And we could actually take a shortcut, but we'll probably just fly that. That'll give us a little more time to get down. This was a direct flight? Yeah, pretty much. So as long as we don't cross this below 2,000, we're good. And as long as we are at 2,000 by the time we get here, we're good to this T-bone fix. Gotta butter this one? Yeah, I'll try. Landing's the toughest part, and when you're getting used to a new setup, it might be tricky, but we'll figure it out. I need to get my flight tracker installed and set up, though. I haven't gotten around to it. I'm gonna be heading out of town this weekend, so I'll probably be off for about a week. Little less, perhaps, and I'm going to go through and make a list of everything I need to configure so that when I get back I can have everything ready to go. I can't take the computer with me, so it's much too large. Every takeoff is optional, every landing is mandatory. Yes, that is right. Down at 14,000 feet, it's warming up, it's minus 10. Let's get updated weather here at Kenai. We're definitely in range to pick it up now. Yeah, the wind is still favoring 2-0 a little bit. Scattered at 3,400, it's actually clearing up a little over here. 17 Celsius, that's 63 Fahrenheit, I believe. 30.19. So let's actually set that. You want to set that when you go below 18,000. And our fuel burn is down. You want to generally lean the mixture or enriching it to keep it at the bottom of this green bar. So we're good where we're at. Take a look around. Oh, it's pretty out there. There's the, actually, I'm not sure that that's it. Might get a good view. It might be obscured by the clouds, but you usually get a good view of a volcano.
Engaging autopilot. Engaging autopilot.
Yeah, my hand bumped that button. This is cool though. We have the boxes, so our descent is on track. Absolutely slam the 150 in real life. Oh man, it takes practice. Very small, gradual inputs on the controls and power. If you do anything too abrupt, it makes it unstable. Alright. Tell you what we'll do. Switch the fuel tank. We're gonna get ready. Just get set up here for approach. Pitot heat stays on. Oh, we're gonna be flying through clouds. We're below freezing, so what I'm gonna do is turn on the de-ice. We'll leave it at normal. We should be okay. If we do start to pick up icing, we'll turn it up to high. Go down half. Whenever you flare, you go down half the runway. Just float it all the way. You're probably carrying a little bit extra speed than you need. Floating isn't too bad. If you start to balloon, or you start going back up, then you wanna prepare for a go around. Once the temperature gets above freezing, really above 2 Celsius, you can go ahead and turn the ice off, or the de-ice. Some pretty thick clouds that are up ahead, though. Alright, other thing I'm gonna do, we're gonna zoom in on the map. If this triggers anything it shouldn't, I'm gonna get mad. Cookie irate pirate. Alright. Now we're zoomed in. Go idle power when you're in ground effect and the speed does not want to shut off because you're in ground effect. You want to make sure you burn off your speed before you get into ground effect. Generally about your wingspan above the ground. So in a 150, that would be probably like... I don't remember what the wingspan of the 150 is exactly, but just say between 30 and 40 feet. It just takes practice and a little feel for the plane though. But you'll get it. Alright, now we're actually on the VNAV track, so we're good here. Plane's flying itself. Still -1. We may pick up a trace of icing. Not a big deal. Gotta fly more. I do too. It's just so expensive. Alright, so Freddy is our final approach fix. So we could actually take a shortcut if we get low enough in time. Otherwise, we'll just fly this course. That'll give us a little more time to set up. So might actually just stick with that. This is saying we'll be on the ground in about 9 minutes. And it is 1 Celsius, so we should not have to worry about ice at this point. I'm going to go ahead and turn the de-icing off. Still gotta land on a grass field, practice my short field takeoff, and trust me, doing and holding a wheelie on the 150 is not comfortable. It's not in most planes. 150's light, tried in like a 172 it's even. But you have more power, so. Alright, we are a bit high here, so we're definitely going to take advantage of the, Why is that up again? Gotta go back through this playlist, clean it up a little bit. So now this is going to fly a very gradual turn. This is called a DME arc. We're 8 miles away from the airport, and you just basically fly in an arc, remaining 8 miles away from the airport. Until we get to this fix here. Your bottom of descent, which is at 2,000 feet, that's where we want to be. Breaking out of the clouds is always fun, yeah it is. I'm gonna actually open up a poll. Getting a tiny bit of rain, it sounds like. Have I ever been to a flight sim expo? No, I haven't. You know, it's something that would interest me, 'cause I like doing it. Given a couple ideas for some flights. It's in Minneapolis. Be cool to go up there and check it out. I'm gonna open up a poll and let it run for a little bit. But give me an idea of a place to fly. All 4 of these are areas that I go, you know, have done a considerable amount of flying in. Alaska's my personal favorite. I'll make sure to have this configured right. So there's the airport. We can actually fly visual, but we'll track the ILS just for good measure. We got 1 vote for Florida. Yeah, I'm thinking somewhere around Tampa. Not sure if you can join tomorrow because my grandma's visiting, so yeah. Well, no worries. I mean, you can always watch it later on. I keep most of my broadcasts up on the channel after I finish the live. Getting here, we should be continuing that turn. Alright. We're gonna fly this manually. Let's keep coming down a little bit, because we need to cross that final approach fix at 1400, I believe the chart said. Land this thing, Captain. Yeah. Alright, we're gonna pull power out. We need to get slowed down. Come through and get lined up. So this is a little bit tricky. If you're flying visual, you got to make sure you have the right airport. This is Kenai. This over here is Soldotna. It's a GA airport that I've flown in and out of there a few times. So let's get cycled around. The runway with the flashing lights is the one that we're landing on. It's a 50-50 now. Oh wow. Alright, so we could actually turn the autopilot back on. And we'll... No, don't climb. We'll stay level at 1800. We're okay here. We'll turn approach mode on. And what that's going to do is set us up to fly the approach with the autopilot. So we can disengage the autopilot down at minimums. We won't have to hand fly it as much. And it works really well with the ILS. I've had kind of mixed results with the RNAV GPS approaches. See, somebody voted Tahiti and Polynesia. That's one of my favorites. That's the first place I flew in when I booted up Flight Sim. Alright. What we should do is we will bring the altitude down to not minus 1,000. Good lord. 300. And we'll intercept the glide slope. That's going to start us down on this descent. So we're going to pull the power back more. We don't want to get too fast. Let's do final checks. Landing light on. Mixture goes full rich. The reason you do that is in case you have to go around and need to apply full throttle, your mixture has to be full rich or you can burn up the engine. Boost pump on. Switch the fuel tank. No, actually we'll leave it left. Left is higher. Haven't burned as much. And we need to pull the power back more. We are slow enough we can go half flaps. We need to be below 110 to go full flaps. And we'll get there pretty fast. This plane is pretty responsive when it comes time to slow it down or speed it up, etc. Alright, we're at 108, we're good. Full flaps. And we want to have power in to be doing about 80 knots. So we'll get down to about 80. Approach is looking good. Let's check, make sure trim is set to take off. Yeah, it's right on it. Tiny bit low, so we're going to add power. Try to keep that up about 80. We can disengage the autopilot and fly by hand from here. So we'll level off, add some power in. And we're looking at these two red lights out here. Well, now one of them is white, so we're good. I'm gonna adjust the trim just... Oh, that's too much.
500.
Should not have done that. Maybe low power, we gotta have the trim up more. Alright, that's better. Speed's about where we want to be. Can I add you on Discord? Yeah, I mean, perhaps. I've been thinking about setting up a Discord channel for, like, the streams that I do and stuff. It's for people to hang out, share ideas, etc. Little high. Got a lot of runway to work with here, though. So somebody voted for Alaska, so now we got a three-way tie. A little fast, we'll take some power out. We're looking okay, though. Now we're a little low. Easy, we're a little slow right here. Let's add this power up. Loading. Not a great landing, not terrible though. Alright. We can roll down the runway a little bit. A little bit of that nose wheel shimmy. And we have a turn off right here. Hit the brakes and we're going to follow this yellow line. There we go. Not bad. Yeah, it wasn't perfect by any means, but not bad. Alright. So we'll taxi over to parking. Flaps up. Landing light can go off. Little off center line there. It's all good. Look at that fire truck driving up and down the runway. Or the ramp. And we can turn in here. And we've got a few options on where to park. We'll probably go back over here by some of these other planes. Oh, there's actually a Marshal waiting there. So we'll go up ahead. I can't tell. Yeah, we're good there. Alright, so it's going to be around this way. Oh, don't walk in front of the airplane. What a nice airport worker. Yeah, they're ready for my arrival. Alright, he's marshalling me in. Not always lined up totally right. Oh, give it a little bump. Brakes are touchy. Nice and easy. Forward. And that's our sign to stop. Parking brake is set, and that's the sign, go ahead, cut the engine off. So what we'll do, boost pump off, turn the strobe lights off and not the landing lights. That was a misclick. Cut the power. Engine is stopped. We get those annunciators, so we'll cut those, pitot heat off, and then we'll just turn the keys. Avionics, whoops. Well, the engine's shut down, so the park and brake off, okay. And there we go, hour and 10-minute flight. So a little longer than we'd expected, but we ran into a couple hiccups which slowed things down, and then it kind of took us up and around. Hey, Rhett, what's going on, man? First time seeing you play Flight Sim in a while. Yeah, it's like 9.5 months. We'll continue from here. Shut those down. We can clear all of that. And just a final check of everything. Mixture's off, boost pump is off, flaps are up. Discord is my YouTube handle? No. Let me grab it. Alright, battery switch off. And here we are on the ground at Kenai. We made it in one piece. It was a little bit of a challenge a couple times, but it worked out. So, nice day up here. Pretty. Alright, we'll pick back up tomorrow. Central Florida winning, so we may go with that. I might do 2 flights tomorrow, if I can get this all figured out. I'm gonna end the poll here. Just wanted to talk flight sim. Let me grab it real quick. Alright, that's going to do it for this one. Welcome to Kenai, Alaska, folks. Thanks for joining me on my first flight back. I know we ran into a little bit of technical difficulties. I'm going to get that worked out. I'm going to end the stream and probably take a 30-minute break. We'll jump on with some Planet Coaster, I think, after that. We'll do that for a little bit. Probably a short, maybe hour and a half in the park. And we'll be back with Flight Sim, likely Central Florida. Well, definitely a flight there. Nice flight, see you later. Man, it was great having you back. It's been good hanging out. So, yeah, we'll pick back up with a Florida flight tomorrow. I'll have that planned out. I'll get everything configured that I need to. I'll be on in about 30 minutes with Planet Coaster. And hope to catch you all there. Until then, I'm going to go eat because I'm hungry. But, yep, take care, stay safe. We'll see you later.